Welcome to Live with Linda. Today's Tuesday, it's 1 o'clock Central, and it's just wonderful to be here with you. I'm excited about, okay, great. Oh, sorry. Oh, Kevin's with us. Hi, Kevin. Great. Let's see. So, gosh, so here we are. It's Tuesday Live with Linda. Oh, Jean's with us. Great. Hey, Jean, nice to see you. Do you know, I haven't figured out the emojis on this. I'm on my laptop. Normally I do this in my office at a desktop and, you know, but because of our circumstances, things are a little different. And and, and it's time to keep learning new things, keep trying new things and adjusting as every day comes around. Oh, good. Hey, Kevin, how about it? And Amy Jean Butler is with us. Welcome. Welcome. It's nice to see you guys here. Let's go here. Do you know, I haven't, oh, cool. Oh, good. Hi. So listen, there's a few things. I'm excited about the fact that we could meet today because there are a few things that I've been thinking about, and I wanted to talk a little bit about them. And I've also been, I don't know about you guys. Well, actually, I do. I know I've gotten some emails and some Facebook posts from people really concerned about people that they love getting sick and some of the hot spots on the planet right now. And I thought we could do a little meditation to see what we can do to help, right? So we're going to be doing that. I did want to talk about the fact that that our own inner peace, right? My inner peace, your inner peace, our happiness. Do you know, this is a condition of consciousness. It's a state of awareness. It's internal. And it really is not dependent on outside conditions. Now, I know that's a tough one. Oh, Tina's with us. Hey, Tina, nice to see you. You know what? I'm trying to get to the heart, sweetie. There we go. Haha. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. Oh, and Lenny. Hey, Lenny and Caitlin. Nice to have you guys. So I've been thinking a lot about how hard it can be and confusing, really, right? To unhook my attachments, right, from the outside world to hook them to the inside, right? Because it seems to me, I don't know about you guys, but I get very caught up in the news, right? And I turn on the TV and in no time I'm having conversations with newscasters and different political figures. I'm like, I don't know, reading them the Riot Act and telling them what I think they should do and how they could make things better. And of course, it's me standing in my living room having these insane and fruitless, can I just say, fruitless conversations with no one. And while I think it's really, really important, especially as a light worker, right, it's very important to be aware of what's happening in the world. My tendency is to either go out there and raise Cain, right, just based on my feelings, right? But no, seriously, I want to get out there and, stir the pot. Okay, that's one strategy. It's a great strategy. It doesn't work. It causes me terrible heartache and anguish, but it's tempting in a time like this. At the other end of the spectrum is the option of hiding, right? Hiding my head in the sand, pretending, right? Let's just pretend, right? Oh God, well, Caitlin has the good sense. I'm reading Caitlin's note is she's outside with a giant tree and in nature as much as possible. Well, you know what Caitlin is really great about that is that's what I'm finding is part of the antidote, right? Is that if I can get outside, thank goodness, I have a dog, Chadwick, the adorable, who actually had some shots this morning. Is a little under the weather, But so taking the dog out, very, very good. Getting outside into nature, very, very helpful. I live in an urban area, so it's not, it's not too much nature. It's a good amount of nature. We have enough nature, right? And oh, there's Lori Beth. Hi, sweetie. Anyway, so the truth of the matter is that my happiness, right? Happiness, that internal sense of harmony, those are conditions that there are two parts. Here's what they require. This what I'm finding. First of all, they require, if I am to be happy, and I don't mean goofy like, no, I'm talking about really content, right? Satisfied, appreciative of the life in which I'm living. I have to first accept life the way it is, not the way I think it should be, not the way, oh, it used to be, not the way I think, oh, it might be when this is all over. Because the truth is, none of us know. None of us know how this is all going, how it's all going. It looks pretty bad right now from where I sit. But I mean, we don't know, right? And there's a lot of mystery, right? This is a spiritual opportunity, is the mystery of life. So the first requirement to have some kind of harmony and internal happiness is acceptance of life just the way it is. And the other is to remember, right, that happiness, it really is not dependent on anything external, right? And I was thinking about, when I was a little girl, we would play outside and we would play with sticks and, all kinds of scraps of God knows what, right? All kinds of stuff, right? Tree branches, leaves, stones, and boy, I was really happy. I had some very happy times in my yard. I had some very happy times in my, washing dishes and singing songs with my sisters. I mean, that happiness, it really has very little to do with external circumstances. And the spiritual opportunity right now is to find happiness in the reality, right, that we're living. Find our own happiness. Hey, Kathy, thanks for coming, right, is to find happiness just in the life that we're in. Hey, Beth Ann, nice to see you. And in some situations, it's easy, and in some situations, it is so not easy. Yes, and Tina's been walking to a river. Oh, Tina, lucky you. You're by a river. I love rivers. I love rivers because they're alive. I mean, all bodies of water are alive, but in a river, you can really experience that movement, right? They never stop. Oh, I think they're tremendous. I love a river. Anyway, oh, good. We had imaginations. And you know what, Lori Beth? We still have imagination. And imagination is, it's actually a spiritual tool. Our imaginations are spiritual resources. If we use them that way, we can use, what's really fascinating is that it always comes back to us. Like, we all have the gift of imagination. So I have this imagination, and I notice that I can do one of two things with it. I can use it to support myself, or I can use it to scare the living daylights out of myself, because I do have a good imagination. And I don't think there's any God in any universe who wants that for me. Now I understand. I've really come to understand throughout the years that the life force is really good and wants us to be happy, wants me personally to be happy, wants you personally to be happy. Our happiness is really very much a part of our soul's purposes. Oh, good. So Sandy, you bring up a wonderful point, this business about music, right? So we've got nature, we've got music, we have connections with people that we love. We have connections with people that we like and enjoy, right? There are so many different qualities of connection that we have with different people. And this is a wonderful time to reflect on those and to reach out in appropriate ways, of course, that are supportive and give us a chance to enjoy. Josephine, great. Love and light, yes, yes. Tina is again talking. You love my new do. I didn't, oh, thank you. Thank you very much. You know, the hair. All right, now let's talk about some of the sacrifices we have to make during this time of sheltering in place, right? Some of the limitations and restrictions. All right, so we can't get haircuts. Ah, and when you're me, that's an issue because, you know, my hair has a life of its own. But anyway, but I'll make the sacrifice. This is very live, Sammy, very live. Oh, great. Samina has a song, right? Is this still live? Yes, it's very much still live. Are you live? Are you alive? I'm alive. And you know what? I'd like to do a special shout out. I know that we have different groups, right, who watch this. What do you call those? The watch groups who watch it together on different pages. So I know that when you're in those groups, it's a lot of fun to be with those groups. The only drawback, as far as I can tell, is that that you can't, like, if you send me a message, I don't get it, right? Which is really too bad. So so I want to say thank you to all the people who are in groups. It's always nice. Sammy Joe, you are alive. Hot dog. Let's give you, okay. Okay, Jeffrey Dale's telling us, I just felt that people gravitate. Yes, people always, of course we gravitate to what's familiar. I mean, we're human beings. That's what we do. We always naturally gravitate toward what makes us feel at home. Now, this is where inner work becomes very important because many people, many, more than we can even count or even comprehend, many people, many of us have had childhoods that were challenging in some ways. And so sometimes we feel like at home, it might not be the most pleasant, but it's familiar, right? And one of the great opportunities of doing inner spiritual work is the transformation of how we understand things that happened to us in the past, right? And we begin to see things in a new light. And we transform our relationship with some of the injuries and wounds, emotional, right? Sometimes physical, sometimes emotional, that we have sustained along the way. So that being at home, that sense, Jeffrey, you bring to our attention that experience of the familiar, of being at home is more loving and more supportive than it used to be. This is inner work that only, you know, we can each do for ourselves on our own. And actually, it's one of the themes. You know, I'm going to be doing this online healing course April 21st. It comes up. It's healing through the Akashic records, and this is actually one of the things we do. Is we bring some of our challenges and hardships, and it's not just, you know, the events. It's the impact that the events have had on us and the way we've been affected by, oh, I don't know, things people said to us, things that happened. I mean, all human beings since the beginning of time have experienced terrible things. I mean, everybody has. I wish there were exemptions. There are. I haven't gotten one. And I don't know if you've gotten one. Tell me. Anyway. Great. Oh, okay. We have a great question here from Linda. But you know, anyway, but I wanted to say, you know, this is interesting. What we all want. Of course we want. We want our experience of being at home, our experience of the familiar. We want to gravitate to those conditions that are nurturing and sustaining, as opposed to diminishing and hurtful. And the more we can bring our consciousness to this, and we can explore these. I like to think of taking like an Akashic lens and looking at myself and life circumstances through this lens, which is a lens. It's you know, it's the perspective of the soul, and it's unconditional love. So we can see the same event from different perspectives, and it's really, really helpful. I know you guys, I mean, I know you're like me in that you too are really seeking freedom from limitations, limiting patterns, right? Old ideas, some of these ancient practices we've been carrying around for centuries. We want to set them down and to go free. And we can actually do that. And that's a lot of what we'll be doing in the upcoming healing class. Now, I see we've got some interesting stuff here. So Linda is asking about changing the age they'll die through the Akashic records. Linda, this is a fascinating question, sweetie. God, that's interesting. The answer to that is no. No, you can't. And I think it's a little, there are many ideas about the Akashic record floating around that are false, they're erroneous, they're mistaken, and certainly very misleading. And they bring us to terrible disappointment and frustration, right? I think it's really helpful to have a clear and accurate understanding of what the Akashic record is and what it isn't. Because when we have appropriate expectations, we have better results. When we have some of these inappropriate expectations, which I certainly don't fault you at all, Linda, because I know I used to have a lot of ideas. I used to think that there was some big cosmic book that would be opened and that there would be some beings of light who would visit me and read to me. I had a lot of ideas. I thought that you could erase parts. Well, you can't. But what's interesting is that through the lens of the Akasha, which is a lens of unconditional love and really high regard for human beings, a real understanding of who people are and what the soul's journey as human is really to learn to love ourselves and others unconditionally, which is, takes lifetimes, let's face it. Anyway, but it's interesting so I might think, oh God, I want to listen, I'm 65. I'm thinking, oh God, please, I want to be 90. I want to be 100 if I'm healthy, right? I'm in for the long haul. And I go into my records, and what I've really come to understand in my record is that no matter that I will not leave the planet until it's the right time for me, until it's an optimal time for me, right? And I need to trust that there's mystery of life. It's kind of like with this virus that's going around, right? That there are mysteries of life that I don't understand. They don't make sense, but I'm learning, right? It's like the thing is, how do I live with not knowing? How do I live with the fact that as a human being, I am a mere mortal? Now, do I have infinite, eternal, right, unlimited life within me? You bet I do. But the human self is transitory. And it's just a reality. And to not use that against ourselves is just so, it's really powerful. And it's ultimately very, very spiritual. Hey, Sally, nice to see you. Michael Levitt. Tina's got a question here. When meditating outside, sure, you can. No. Okay, so listen, Tina's got a great question. Can you open your records outside? Yes. But listen, you don't want, this is a spiritual practice. I mean, Tina, you understand this. You want to sit down. You want to, if you can be in a beautiful place in nature, oh my God, do it, right? And you can open your records and, do your inner explorations outside, right? It's beautiful. But you don't want to open your records and like get in the car and drive in traffic. I mean, that's kind of goofy. You don't want to split, you don't want to diffuse your consciousness, right? This is a spiritual practice. So the idea is not like, I'm going to open my records and go to my job. Your boss is not paying you to be in a slightly altered state, and any spiritual insight you have is not going to be helpful. So, so don't compromise your human faculties is my recommendation on that. But by all means, I mean, I do it, I go outside where it's beautiful and open my records. Okay. Jennifer Woolman, no. Oh, good. Jennifer Woolman, no, I am not Linda Moulton Howe. I am Linda Howe. Okay. I don't have a middle name, actually. How about that? Linda Moulton Howe and I do very different work. I know some people say we have some similarities. That's cool. I don't know her, but I know she's she's a fine person. She's got a fabulous name, I must say. Fabulous. Anyway, but thank you for coming by. Okay, listen, so if anything, okay, so we have a question here about struggling to access your records. So let me tell you a couple of, I don't know, are they secrets? I don't think they're secrets, but a couple of things that might be helpful. First of all, you want to check your expectations. And this is where, you want to like, I don't know, be really straight with yourself. This is not an avenue to gain supernatural skills. Like if you think you're going to start seeing lights and colors and I don't know, whatever, supernatural, levitating. This is not that. This is not. It's deceptively simple. It's accessible by a slight shift in your awareness that's achievable by using the Pathway Prayer process. I received it in 2001, have taught it to tens of thousands of people all around the world. It's wonderful. It's very effective. As far as I'm concerned, it's a shortcut. Because listen, if you're here today, and if you come to any of these, you're attracted to the Akashic Record because at some level, you have already touched it, right? You've made contact with it. The question becomes, how do I get back there? How can I make this connection? And so using the Pathway Prayer process gives us a reliable, deliberate, intentional way of making this connection, which is a tremendous spiritual privilege that we have now that it's 2020 and that we need now that it's 2020, right? So, and self-doubt, boy, I'll tell you, I talk about it in my books. Self-doubt, if there's a devil, I don't believe in that anyway, but if there is, I think it's self-doubt. Oh, that self-doubt is just brutal, isn't it? So what you want to do is check your expectations, okay? The next thing you want to do is set anything that goes with the self, right? Self-doubt, you're worried about how you're going to perform, anything starting with self, you set that aside and just be open. I think it's helpful. I like to journal with my records open because otherwise I'm like, oh, is it me? Is it the records? So we want to just don't even entertain that stuff. Just follow the instructions, open the prayer, ask your questions, right? And write about them. What I have found, and I think this is so hilarious, is that when I'm in the records, right, I'm like, oh, this is no big deal. It's so obvious. Anybody could get this, right? I think that all the time. Then I close my records. I go about my business. Then maybe a week later, I read my notes. And I read my notes. I'm like, hey, this is pretty good. Gosh, this is helpful. These are clear ideas. Sometimes distance really helps us to make better evaluations so that when we're in the record, we want to describe what it seems like we're getting. Just describe it. It seems like this. You don't have to commit. This is not a hard science. Don't worry. Let yourself explore and then go back to it later. And I think you'll be pleased. There's one more thing I found really, really helpful, and that's to work with others. And so you want to find out, but you want to be straight up with people. You want to say, listen, I'm learning how to do this. Can I try this with you? Right? If they say no, we respect that. If they say yes, give it a whirl, right? Questions about their life right now. We always want to start with the present. The point of power is always and only in the present. So we start with the present. What's going on in your life that's causing you some discomfort, distress, right? We talk about those things. Sometimes when we take our attention off of ourselves and turn our thoughts to others and how we can be helpful, it's almost like the record opens and it's like, that's been my experience. So you might want to, I would say, give that a try, okay? And let me know how it goes. Chris, how do I learn my soul path? Chris, this is a $50 million question. The first place to look, how do you learn your soul's path, is by ask yourself, what's important in my life? Your soul's path is through you as a person. So we need to consider who you are, what's important to you. Your soul's path is not outside of you, but it's inside of you, and it's through you as you. So by working in your records, my third book is Discover Your Soul's Path Through the Akashic Record. And it really is very much about this exploration, right? First of all, clearing away obstructions that we have to knowing what's true about ourselves, letting go of grievances and negative opinions we have about ourselves and things we've done. That's the first thing. Then we look at ourselves and our lives, right? And some of the ideas and beliefs that we have, that we've probably had for centuries, that are governing the way we conduct ourselves. And we get through it, right? And I would really, it's a big question. Listen, Chris, this is a huge question. And it's worthy of a lifetime of exploration. But I would begin my third book, Discover Your Soul's Path Through the Akashic Records, right? Taking your ordinary life to extraordinary. Anyway, I would take a look at that and let me know how it goes. Cool. Okay. Oh, Pat's here. Hi, Pat. Nice to see you. Oh, Monique. Good to see you as well. Thank you. All righty. Denise is with us. Hi, Denise and Ami. And let's see. Oh, good. Beth Ann, so cool. Thank you. What do the Akashic Records of the U.S. say? I don't know. I mean, I was going to ask you for that $26 trillion. I don't know that. Listen, I don't know. I really don't know what to say about the records of the United States. I'm not that I'm interested. I'm an American. I live here. It's kind of a wild time. Okay. I don't know what's happening here to my Facebook Live. It says that I should. Okay, I'm live again. This is a different live. I don't know what happened to my computer. My apologies. Okay, I'm on this Facebook page. New video, I guess. New video, it seems. Okay, so if you're here, come back and visit me. Oh, I don't know what happened. And I don't know how to get to this. I'm going to see if I can get to it on my phone. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Might not be possible. It just might not be possible. Oh, I want to cry. Well, it's 30 minutes. Somebody's here. Tina, I'm glad you're here. Jean, I don't know, do you know what? My page, hi, Jean. Good to see you. Kathy, oh, come back, my people. I love you guys. Come back. Oh, I do not know what happened. My computer flashed. Oh, Amy Jean is with us. Do you know, there were some great questions in that feed. And oh, Lori Beth, I'm so glad to see you, sweetie. Thank you. You know, there were some great questions on there and they're gone. I don't know what happened to my screen. All right, I don't want to be targeted. This is kind of Oh, Marguerite, from Belfast. Wow. Is it raining there today? Probably. Okay. God, thanks, Jean. Hey, listen, I'm wondering, I can't get to these other questions anyway. I know we had a lot of great questions in that feed, and I just am so sorry that I can't get to them. But I want to invite you. You have to tell people to restart. Okay, great. How do we do that? Does somebody know how to do that? Oh, you were on the same page. How wild. Okay. So I'm wondering if somebody could help me with that. Okay, I'm going to send it. I'm going to send an email to somebody asking for some help. Okay, I don't know if I can do that. Anyway, so listen, I'm wondering if you were asking about drawing. Yes, 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 yes. That's wonderful. Do you know about that? Of course you do. Already you do. Tatiana's with us. It's still frozen on the other page. Okay, well, I guess on the other page, we need something that says to whatever you guys did. What'd you do? I know what I did. It froze and then it kicked me out, and I had to come back and start over again. So, okay, we're all the same. We are all the same, aren't we? We are all the same. And that is the truth. Oh, Hetal. Hi, sweetheart. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. So listen, there are a lot of people who do this, right? Who open the records. This is a very cool thing to do, actually. You can open your records and draw, right? You can draw if you can. Some people can't. They lose their ability to do like fine motor skills when they're in the records. So if you have that, though, okay, first of all, you pay attention. Can I draw when I'm in the records or not? If you can't, don't. Oh, Sonia, can you take a renewal? Yeah, send an email. Send an email. Oh, you're sticking with me. I'm sticking with you too. Alicia's with us. Hi, sweetie. Nice of you to come. Oh, good. I'm following the pillar of light. How can I like this. How can I increase my receptivity in the records? Here's what you can do. Okay, two things. I'll first follow the instructions. You know how to do that. I mean, they're pretty simple, straightforward. So you follow the instructions. Then what you do, again, you want to check your expectations, right? What's really helpful is the more we understand it's a spiritual practice, and that it's not an event. So it's not like you go to the records once and it's like, whoa, everything comes down on your head. No, no, no. You go in, you open your records, and you ask some questions. Always start in the present and start with questions about your life right now. These are the richest questions, right? I know I do too. We all have these big questions like, what's the meaning of my life? What's my soul's purposes? All those kinds of things. But see, the way we get to that is through the present, right? So I want to know about my relationship with my partner. How can I improve that? My dog. I'm like in love with my dog. I am. And, I love this dog, Chadwick. And then, my son, right? My son is now 26. He's out on his own. He's with his girlfriend. Life is good, right? And yet I'm still his parent. I don't know anything about how do I be a parent to an adult, right? How do I respect his opinions when they're so different than mine, right? How do I do that? Help me to see and know him in the light of truth rather than in the light of parental fear, right? These are the kinds of questions. And by writing things down, very helpful to understand if I don't get a whole answer today, it doesn't mean I'm never going to get it, right? It means come back tomorrow, right? You'll get a little more tomorrow. So what I have found is that if I understand it as a progression and is relational, right? The more I work in the record, the more, the deeper my connection gets. It's like any relationship, very relational, right? So I go in, I work. The other thing that I have found very, very helpful is to describe, right? So I write about what it seems like. Don't make any decisions. Like if I'm in the record, I'm like, I want to figure it out. I want to understand. I want to evaluate it. I'll do that later. If I'm trying to do that, then it's almost like I block the flow. Things can't come to me unless, right, unless I'm open. And describing really makes all the difference. So that should really help. Very funny, Sandra D. Where are you? Okay. Oh, Isabel's with us. Sally, good. Your handwriting gets weird. Okay, good. But stuff comes to me. Listen, Tina, if you enjoy drawing in your records, you go right ahead. There's no contest. Nobody's going to give you a grade on your art. Don't worry about that. Okay? So sometimes it's really easy. And this is the thing. Do you know, the thing, Marguerite, is sometimes working in the records is very easy. And sometimes it takes more, right? It takes more focus, right? 3 sons, 2 ages 22 and 120. Oh God, my heart goes out to you. Listen, that's great. That is great. Okay. Hetal, that helps? Okay, good. Listen, let me know. Next week we'll be back. You let me know how that goes. Anyway, it seems like we're coming to the end of our time. All right. I just wanted to take a moment with you guys, if we can. Just take a moment. Okay. Oh, Heather. Hi, Heather. Hi, Denise. Yeah, I'm great. How are you? Nice to see you guys. Okay. Oh, they're here. Listen, there's unconditional love for you, Hetal, all the time, whether your records are open or closed. Okay. When are you back? What do you mean? Next week. Next week, Heather. All right, cool. I'll be here next week, 1 o'clock Central. And, if you have questions and this and that, you can. Do you meditate every day? I don't. I meditate, I don't know. There are times when I meditate every day. There are times when I don't meditate every day. Right now, I'm in a not meditating every day phase. Hi, Billy. Nice to see you. I do, I meditate, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times a week, right? But right now, I have to tell you, with all these restrictions and limitations externally imposed, right? I chafe against those things. They say don't go out, then all I want to do is go out. It's terrible. I'm like a teenager. It's really bad. Anyway, so I find that it's really helpful to give myself a little more elastic, so that it's easier. So anyway, that's what, and so go easy on yourselves too. Billy, nice to see you. Anyway, all right, I just want to take a minute. Listen, I know we all have concerns, right? We're worried about people that we love. We're worried about people getting sick. Because you are of this compassionate ilk, right? You will be a little bit apprehensive from time to time. That is simply the signal. I believe it is a signal to stop for a moment and to remember the truth, right? So now if you will join me by closing your eyes and opening your awareness to the reality of who you are right now. You are somewhere, whether you're in Belfast, right? Edmonton, Canada. Good. Chicago, Kentucky, California, wherever you are, let yourself be there. Direct your attention inside to yourself, recognizing that there is something within you so much greater than you are, that is causing your heart to beat, your lungs to process air. There is within you a vital life force. It is infinite, eternal, and immortal. It is a great mystery that us humans, mortal, finite, limited, have the capacity to contain this infinite presence and to be in a co-creative partnership with that quality of aliveness. And we do. And in the fullness of this idea, bring to mind some person that you're concerned about. They may be sick. You may be worried that their judgment isn't so good. It may be a part of the world that is really tearing at your heart. You may have people in Italy, China, India, America, that are facing a tsunami of illness. Bring that to mind. And let's consider that the infinite presence, the life force that's within you, is within the people you love. They have no more, they have no less than you. The places about which you're worried may be hotbeds of sickness. They are also focal points of the essential life force. And so in your mind's eye, take a step back and recognize that all the life that's within you is within them. All the love, all the good judgment, the sound reasoning, the wisdom and compassion that you've been cultivating for lifetimes is within them in the way that is right for them and useful for them. And know that your awareness of this truth amplifies it. And so for now, we leave this be, returning our attention to the day. Terrific. You want to open your eyes and come back? Good. So listen, I have to go. Oh, Jim, nice to see you. Cool. Listen, I have to go for now. I'll see you guys soon. I hope you come. Do you know what? April 21st, Healing Through the Akashic Records, the certification class. It's going to be really great. We're going to take our awareness and we're going to like peel it off the externals of life. And we're going to turn it inward. And we're going to learn how to transform our unhealthy attachments to those things within us, and to really base our connections on the infinite love that's within, liberating ourselves from old ideas and obstructions so that we can really live the life of our dreams. And because it's a healing class, we're also going to learn how to empower others to do the same. Anyway, I love you guys. Hey, I'll see you next week. bring your questions. Okay. All right. Oh, Alicia, yeah, you get this. All right. So cool. Okay. Many blessings and lots of cookies to everyone. Cookies and chocolate cake. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. All right, cool. All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye now.